All right, good afternoon. We are live here on the Aesthetics YouTube channel. I'm Chris. Thanks for being here. I know we're just, as we get started, we'll have more people file in, so I'm going to kind of stall or vamp a little bit as we get going here. But here's my plan. For the next hour, I think I'm going to stick with you guys in about a half an hour. We're going to get, I think, the next round of teasers. And I don't think this is going to be like the teaser we saw this morning, which were just kind of hype videos, I guess, with each team's color. I think this time we're actually going to see something worthwhile. We'll maybe get some images or more video clips, but something that might actually show us a sneak peek at some of the jerseys. And what do I base that on? Well, if we go back to 2020, the last time we had these reverse retros, this is what we got the first time around. They did teasers over a series of about a week, This was kind of the first thing. It was this video clip that played that kind of went through all of the teams, and it was a little bit cryptic. We had to do some trying to figure out what the team was and what the year was and what jersey was associated with that. But the clues they gave us were a year and some colors. And so from there, we kind of had to do some detective work to figure out what it was going to be. I don't know if that's what the teasers are going to be like this afternoon, but I do expect we're going to get some in about half an hour from now. 4:30 East Coast time, 1:30 here on the Pacific, in the Pacific time zone. So let me run through here. I'm going to turn some things on mute so you guys don't hear too many dings and buzzes while I'm here live. I'm still relatively new to this, so I apologize if it's a little rough. That's just the nature of trying something new. I much prefer to write and edit videos and put them out that way, but I figured it only made sense to go live today, and I'm also going to do a live stream again tomorrow once we see all the jerseys, because that's the thing. We're getting these teasers today, and then tomorrow we're going to get the full reveal of all the jerseys, as I understand it. So looking back, kind of what we saw last time around, I have all the videos saved. This is kind of what we saw. Adidas put out this clip that had all of the teams covered, all 31 teams, with a year, color scheme, and from that we kind of were able to figure out which team, what jersey each team was going to do. Well, we didn't know for sure what it was going to look like, but we kind of got a sense from that. This morning, the teasers we got were just basically this. We're just all different colors. It's not really... It doesn't give anything away about the design of the jersey. And even the colors used, I'm not even sure of the significance of them for each team. For example, Vancouver, whose jersey we've already seen leak, they have a green one. And we know the jersey is blue, so it's odd to see it green here. But obviously green is their secondary color, and it kind of makes sense that you would see that. All right, as we're waiting for some more people to file in, we have good viewership right now. Gosh, 300 of you. I was not expecting that, but glad to have you all here. Thank you to my members. I can see some of you in there commenting now. Justin Wiltron, nice to see you. But it's great to have all of you guys here. While we're waiting for everyone to get in, I'm going to take a quick break. But like I said, when we come back, I'm going to go through for the first half hour of this stream, we're going to go through all of the jerseys that have leaked so far, including some new ones that came out just this morning. So we'll take a look at those, and then we'll kind of wait till we hit 1:30, 4:30. Half an hour from now is when we'll see some more teasers. And I'm going to keep Twitter up, and we'll keep an eye on that. So I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, thanks again for being here. This is Aesthetics Live. I'm Chris. We're going to talk through Reverse Retro 2.0 Reveal Week. This is the big week. We're going to get all 32 jerseys from all 32 teams. For right now, I'm pretty sure we have about 25 minutes until we start seeing some more teasers come out from all the teams. For now, we just have, like I said, like I've shown earlier, these little graphics animations that came out earlier that just show it's a little bit of hype. It says rebooting, it says standby. So that came out around 7 a.m. Eastern, Pacific this morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. The last team to go was Anaheim. They were about an hour late coming out. But we did get theirs, which is orange. So I kind of wanted to take a look at some stuff that has already leaked. All right. For example, we do know Vancouver's leaked. You can see a side-by-side comparison here of the last reverse retro on the right compared to the new one that's going to be used this year. That leaked. That was the first one that leaked, and so that's a better look at it there. And another one we got to was Chicago pretty early on. This came by way of Carter Richard. Tweeted out this image. This is an official rendering from Adidas, but not sure how it got out into the world, but sometimes these things happen. But this is what the Blackhawks will be wearing. It's based on a 1937 jersey, as far as I can tell, just looking at that image. I guess we'll find out for sure once the hopefully when the teasers start coming out. Because like I was pointing out with the teasers the last time around, we saw the years, I think, were associated with that. So we kind of had a sense of where the teams were headed. So some others have come out this morning. I'm going to start going alphabetical through this list. I have a bunch of photos that I've saved here that I wanted to show during this stream. This is one that I tweeted out earlier. Someone sent to me. It's the Columbus Blue Jackets, obviously. And this is based on their 2003 third jersey, which you can see 2003 up there in the collar. Hopefully you're getting a good enough resolution on this video. But this one is based on their 2003 third jersey, which had black sleeves. It was navy blue with black sleeves. So they've kind of reversed that. So now it's kind of a black base. If you can tell, I'm not sure, again, how good the detail is on this stream, but there actually is some navy blue in it, as well as what's obviously a more royal blue. Royal blue has never really been a Blue Jackets color. So this is the first time we're seeing kind of a two-tone blue with that. I shouldn't say the first time we're seeing a two-tone blue. Their third jersey uses a lighter blue, but it's more of a faded kind of a blue, not so much this kind of royal blue. Again, from what I can tell, it's always tough to tell with cell phone photos and lighting. You never quite know exactly what you're getting, but it looks like at least the colors on the crest look accurate. So I feel like we can kind of say most of the rest of the photo is accurate as well. But there is a navy blue around the sleeve, around the cuff here. This stripe down here along the bottom, as well as of course up top here. There is some navy blue mixed in with the black, as well as the sleeves being kind of a royal blue. So that's what we're seeing for Columbus. I think it's kind of an interesting look. I think, you could have definitely just reversed the black and navy blue from the last one. But the problem with that original jersey, and the problem you'd still have today, is that there's not enough contrast, right? And the navy blue and the black, you can't really tell the difference. And so I think if they really wanted it to stand out, to be able to see the blue as being different from black, you have to go with a lighter blue. So it looks like that's what they did, and maybe that's the reason. But maybe we'll find out more either later today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, like I said, should be the official reveal. And as far as that goes, the final reveal, I don't know a specific time. I have heard 11 a.m. Eastern, so it would be 8 o'clock Pacific. I've heard maybe like staggered throughout the day. So we'll see how that goes. I may just do a stream in the afternoon or in the evening tomorrow where we go through everything, or if there's enough out in the morning, I may try to jump in the morning. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Keep an eye on Twitter. I'll try to announce my plans that way. The Dallas Stars are the next one. This is an image that I tweeted out yesterday. It's the number kit that's going to be used on their jerseys. The 6 on the left is obviously for the back, and the 4 on the right is for the sleeves. And I've been told that the jersey would be based on this design, their original 1993-94 white jersey, but that we'd get a black version of it. Now, the black home jersey that they wore during this season, 93-94, was a little different in that it didn't have a different colored sleeve, right? The full jersey was black. So I think it will be based on this one, and here's another look at the detail of that jersey. And the reason I think we're going with this, I think we're going to have a black jersey with green sleeves, and the reason is, if you look at the trim on the 6, it's green. And so you're probably going to want it, if you want to show your full color palette, you use colors that are different from the jersey, or from the different from the colors on the jersey where the number is being placed. So I'm pretty sure that this shows that we're going to get a black jersey. And I think we're going to get green sleeves based on the black trim around the 4. And so that's kind of where we don't have a photo of the Dallas Stars jersey yet, but I think, this is the closest thing we have to something from their uniform for their reverse retro. So I think we will see a black version of this. Now, I don't think we're going to see the gold logo. I think we're going to see a silver version like we saw with their white reverse retro 2 years ago, because you can see silver trim on these numbers. So that kind of points to probably not going to see gold on it. The green, to my eye, does look a bit darker, so it may be their original green and not the current victory green. But I think that's also what they did in 2020 with their reverse retro, was their original green and not their brighter victory green. All right, let's see. I'm going to take a quick look at the comments and live chat over here and see if you guys have anything for me while I'm here. Lucas Gates, hey, nice to see another member here. A Barron-style jersey would have been cool, but oh well. I kind of agree. I think that would have been neat to see a Cleveland Barons design, but I don't mind this one either for Columbus, to be honest. This black and blue one, I think it works pretty well. So, but that's just my opinion. I know I don't always have the most popular of opinions when it comes to jerseys. This was another kind of new one. We've seen this photo, but we've seen it at a much lower resolution. I think Eric Andrews was the first to share that photo, and I've included that in other videos recently. But Tom Gazzola shared this photo today, and it's a higher res version of that, so we can see all the details that maybe we couldn't see before. But essentially, it's what we've known. It's a navy blue jersey using the Todd McFarlane design gear. This is based on their 2001 design, with, of course, the oil drop now being Oilers orange instead of the navy blue that it was before. So that's part of the reverse, I think, of this jersey, is that they're using more orange in it. There was certainly no orange in the 2001 version, as you can see here. So the other one I want to drop in on is Nashville. This one came out this morning. This was a bit of a surprise to see the Nashville Predators jersey. I kind of thought it was going to be navy blue. And that got me thinking, too, that even though this photo does look like a legitimate Adidas jersey, I have no questions about that. I wonder if there's any possibility that in any of the leaks we've seen prototype designs. Maybe those have been floating around in the world. I don't know exactly how those were put together, any of the prototype looks. So it could have been that they were looking at a yellow version and a navy blue version. And maybe they did go with the yellow one after all. But that, of course, is based on their 2001 third jersey as well, commonly known as the Mustard Cat. This is a detailed version of that jersey. It's interesting to note that the colors seem to be mostly the same. The big difference is, instead of this kind of dark yellow mustardy color, it's the Predators yellow. It's their standard yellow color, just like their home uniforms. So I think that may be what they swapped out in terms of their reverse retro. One thing that stands out that's a bit odd is the word Nashville, kind of in that patch sewn in there at the top. That's certainly a part of the original jersey, but I think it wasn't stitched in as a separate sort of rectangular piece, so that makes it look a little strange. But I think that's just part of how these Adidas jerseys are constructed. And it's a one-off. I think if it were a permanent jersey, I think there might be more put into the detail. But I think for this, I think it looks kind of like what we'd want it to look like. I think, honestly, this logo stands out really well over yellow. I think it would have been fine over a dark blue, over a navy blue, but I think it really works well over yellow. And that may be where the team landed. If they looked at both colors and said, well, yeah, look, yellow is sort of Nashville's color, it's the Predators' color, and it works really well with this logo. Let's take a look here at the blues. I did a flash report video about that you may have already seen. No picture of the jersey yet, but this hat. And then I've got, kind of looks like what the jersey could be, and then I've gotten confirmation from a source that says, yep, this is the direction that they're headed. So when we see St. Louis, I think we will see a version of this original jersey that was put together in 1966, about 6 months after the team was awarded to the city, to St. Louis. But it was never actually worn in a game. It showed up in the paper in in St. Louis, but it never actually was used up until the 2017 Winter Classic. About a week after, the Blues held a skills competition over there at Busch Stadium, and they had special jerseys made for that, and they matched this design. So they were kind of trying to bring that design back about 51 years later. But we're actually going to get to see it on the ice in an NHL game, not in the originally intended colors, of course, because it's going to be yellow, but it will still end up making an appearance. The Vegas Golden Knights. So this one was one that leaked earlier too. This, again, not a photo of the actual uniform, but it is a rendering done, I think maybe within the team, within the Golden Knights creative team, I believe. So again, you know, it's not a photo of the jersey, but it's what the jersey is going to look like. I think you'd be hard pressed to find any details that are off. And that's also, of course, why you see Alex Tuck in the photo. Of course, he's no longer a Golden Knight. He's now a Buffalo Saber. But this rendering would have been made probably last year, back when he was with the team. We also got this image. I believe Ali Murji was the one who shared these original images, these photos with us. And again, this is another rendering, but it gives us a little more detail. The Vegas text going down the front is based on the Excalibur signage. This is where, you know, I've talked before about some teams are going to be pushing the definition of reverse retro, and Vegas is definitely one of those teams. We'll see probably that Seattle is going to be one of those teams as well. It's hard to do a reverse retro with a brand new team. It's hard to do any kind of retro with a team that's been around 5 years or less. So what is kind of cool about this one that I like is the sword right there in the side of the pants. It's kind of a neat look. It reminds me of the lightning bolt down the side of the Lightning's pants. The 22 over here, and I'm going to actually get my video off the screen so you can see my whole monitor. But this 22, these numbers here are based on another famous Vegas sign from the Stardust Hotel. So if you want to look up that sign, you'll get a sense maybe of what some of the other numbers might look like. But that's kind of where Vegas is. And then I think the last one, this image was sent to me just a little while ago today. It seems to be a rendering of the Washington Capitals reverse retro. And it's black, it's got the eagle on it, and that kind of coincides with what we've already heard and seen a little bit. It certainly goes with the t-shirt leak, and it goes a little bit with what I've been told as well. We have this, basically the black and blue reversed on this one. And I kind of wanted to pull up NHLUniforms.com by my friend Andrew Greenstein. He does a great job of keeping track of the history of NHL uniforms. And it's also a great place for us to gauge where some of these jerseys might be coming from. So if we do end up getting a year tied to a team, kind of the way we did as far as the teasers go 2 years ago, if we got that again, you can easily just jump in here, find the year, find the team, and you can kind of gauge what they're going after. Now, it doesn't work for teams like Vegas, who are obviously not going after a past jersey of their own. They're kind of coming up with something new that has a retro kind of a feel to it. But I think, I wanted to talk about the Washington Capitals, of course, because it looks like it's going to be based on their 1995 blue jersey. And if I can pull up that image over here on the side of the screen, I'll also get out of the way again. So here you can kind of see where they've done the reverses of colors, the blue for black, essentially. The bronze and white sort of stay where they were. And so I think that's a good look for Washington. Again, I'm a 90s kid, so I kind of appreciate these 90s designs. And so it's nice to see some of them coming back. What time is it? We're about 10 or so minutes away, it looks like, from the next round of teasers from Adidas and the NHL. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know what more I have to show. I'm going to go back to my other folder quick and see if there was anything else I overlooked. I don't yet have a photo of the New York Islanders reverse retro, but I do believe it's going to be based in large part on this design. I think I also had a look at the logo. I think that came from the t-shirt leak. So we know there's going to be a bit of teal, but it's going to be kind of a recolored version of the Fisherman as well. And I might try to look that up for you too in a minute. But I think that's kind of where we're at. And I think I've covered all of the teams that have leaked so far. if we go back to Twitter, of course, this morning I took all of those teaser videos that came out from all the teams and put this together. Anaheim was not available at the time, but theirs has since come out, and it's orange. Just like, Philadelphia, I believe, is orange, yeah, of course. And then the New York Islanders have an orange one there. But I don't know that these colors tell us that much. It's pretty much just the team's colors. There are some cases like red for the Colorado Avalanche, of course. We are pretty sure they're going with the Colorado Rockies look based on the NHL Shop t-shirt leak. So that makes sense to have a little bit of red thrown in there for them. The powder blue for the Panthers and Canadiens. That's a bit of a weird thing, but again, we've heard the rumors that the Canadiens could be going with Montreal Expos inspired design, so the powder blue would make a lot of sense for them. The Florida Panthers wore powder blue for a couple of seasons on their third jersey from 2009 to 2011. That's another good reason to bring up NHLUniforms.com. We can take a closer look at that. So I'm not sure that that's going to be where their third jersey where their reverse retro jersey comes from, but it could be. This is the only powder blue they've had in their history that I'm aware of. So anyway, the other thing, of course, is purple for the Kings. We know they're getting a version of the 60s crown. They're going to be delivering that to us. So that'll be nice. I'm going to make this image a little bigger so you can see it if you're watching on a smaller screen. But yeah, nothing too crazy, I think, beyond that as far as colors go. Oh, we do see the bronze here for the Capitals. But of course, that does go with what we saw for this kind of leaked image. Obviously, the jersey being black and bronze being the kind of secondary color. It makes sense that you would see that. Vegas as well, I think that may be kind of a gold. It almost looks like a sand color in a way. But this bronze actually kind of matches what you see for the Coyotes. And I'm not certain what the Coyotes plan to do. I'm under the impression that they're going to take their 2020 jersey, which was purple, and I'll pull that up here if I can. Let's see, Arizona. So yeah, they did this purple version last time. From everything I've heard, they're going to do a black version of it, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't got anything solid to report there. Just checking to see if there's anything else. Not sure there is. Let me jump in over here and take a look at the live chat and see if you guys have anything to talk about there. In the meantime, I'll put my video screen back up on the side here. And we'll go back to Twitter here. I'm going to check my mentions in just a minute, see if anything else has come up. But we're just about maybe 5 or 7 minutes away from the next round of teasers, apparently. So if they still do come at 4:30 Eastern. But I'm going to jump over here into the live chat. You guys are very chatty over here. Let's see. Any questions? One of you is asking, is Anaheim still holding out? They are not. They did actually release their teaser, and I can pull that up here, play that for you. It's orange, as you might expect. But I think that goes with what I've been understanding is that they may go with a white version of their current orange third jersey, and that may be a kind of a test balloon for going back to the Disney version of their logo. If not full-time, maybe just on their primary uniforms. You know, Carolina is an example of they use a different logo on their home and road jerseys from what their primary logo is, and that's new for this year. So, all right, Curtis, thanks for being a member. You said, I've seen conflicting reports that the Coyotes are going with either a tan or black base. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard the tan thing, but, you know, looking at the way that they use this color in their image, it is kind of a tan sand color, right? So maybe that's the direction they're headed. Hard to say. Let's see. What else? Curtis, you also seem to be worried about red whalers. I suppose that's possible. I really don't know what the Hurricanes are up to. There's was not among the T-shirt leaks, so we don't know exactly what logo they're using, but they did bring back their actual throwback this year. That's going to be their new 3rd jersey as part of their 25th anniversary, and I wish I had thought about it and I could have pulled it up here, but if you haven't seen that yet, in fact, you know what I can do? I can just use Andrew's site, head on over here to the 2022-23 season, and we can pull up the Hurricanes here. So yeah, we know they're bringing back their green Whalers jersey for later in the season, right after St. Patrick's Day, but their 25th anniversary jersey is also back. I should say their inaugural jersey is back for their 25th anniversary. All right, let's see, what else do we have here? All right, one person I see asking, do you think the Pens reverse retro is going to be the gradient one? I'm not sure. I've heard some conflicting things about that. That would kind of surprise me. I have a hunch that they're going to go with basically the jersey that would match their 3rd jersey or would match their reverse retro from last year. I think it's going to be the white version of the Robo Penguin, as people like to call it. We did see as part of the T-shirt leak that logo is coming back. But I have a feeling it's going to be this jersey with black base. So they might just reverse the black and white and give us that version. So we'll see. I'm not positive on that one, but that'll be a fun surprise. Let me keep going through the list here. We should have just a few minutes before we start. I need to start refreshing all the Twitter accounts here. I also have an account, or a list, I should say, called NHL Only. It says NHL Only, but there are 3 extra accounts apart from the NHL team accounts. There's the NHL League account, there's the NHL PR account, and then Adidas Hockey is included because they're likely to be sharing a bunch too. So I just want to keep an eye on that here on this list. So as new stuff comes in, we'll keep an eye on it. Justin Wiltron, thanks again for being a member. Can't wait for the white skates with the Sharks reverse retro. Man, I am hoping for that myself. I think that would be really cool. But I know that was going to be something they were trying to work on. I don't know if they managed to make it work. You want to make sure that whatever you end up doing is going to be safe for the players and safe for their uniforms and everything. So you don't want to do anything too crazy, I would think. Let's see here. Windy City Hockey says, President of Business Operations for the Blackhawks hinted that the Hawks' old black 3rd from 96 to 09 could be returning. I hadn't heard that, but that would be kind of cool. So if you're unfamiliar, that's this jersey here. Let's go to the Blackhawks. And they wore this black 3rd for quite a long time. And they also did bring it back for one season as part of the Reebok Edge era. So that would be kind of an interesting look for them. Lucas, thanks so much for the support there. Lucas says, just a personal opinion, if there is a reverse retro 3.0 in 23-24, I think the Canucks should go down the road of flying V, but in modern colors. That would be interesting. We've definitely seen concept art on the concept showcase with people trying that green and blue V jersey for the Canucks. I think that would be interesting if they tried that out for sure. I have a hard time thinking that reverse retro 3.0 is going to happen. Obviously next season is the final year for Adidas with the NHL. I think at that point they're going to be done with their contract, and so they've decided not to renew from all the reports that are out there. So we'll likely have a new company taking over in 24, but I don't know who that would be yet. Let's see. Who else has a good question? Brock, hi. Thank you for being a member. Interested in seeing what the jackets do for the socks, pants, and helmet. Yeah, you and me both. That would be interesting to see the full uniforms. And I wonder, too, if they're when they do their announcements today, if it's just going to be, tomorrow when they do the announcements, if we're going to see the full uniform or if we're just going to see the jerseys like we did last time. And we'll have to wait for game days or closer to game days to see the full uniform. Although you got to think that the Washington Capitals are getting close, because we did see some photos from practice in Washington where players were starting to wear black helmets and their black gear to go with their new Black Eagle reverse retro, and we saw some interesting new goalie pads for Darcy Kemper as well. So, all right, anybody else? Let's see. Will there be jersey ads on the reverse retros? Now, I haven't seen any so far, but none of the images that we've seen to this point really, are that I think a lot of these are the fan jersey. They're not necessarily the jersey that we're going to see on the ice. So we'll see about that in just a second. Real quick, though, I'm going to refresh my NHL list here because, and I think I just saw, yeah, the Panthers, looks like they have a little teaser here. I'm going to pull this up. So that's very interesting, just nice in shadow kind of there, right? We'll go ahead and pause it somewhere in here, but you can kind of see red. It looks like red shoulders, and to be honest, like it kind of looks a bit like one of their early jerseys, and I'm going to run back over here to Andrew's site, jump over to the Florida Panthers. It kind of seems like it could be, it's got this kind of pointed shoulder, right? Maybe, if I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing, but on a light blue. That's kind of interesting, right? So I'm going to go ahead and but I'm going to keep going through because we're probably going to get a lot more now that we're at sort of the 1:30, 4:30 time. Maybe the Panthers were just the first one there. So I'm going to refresh again. I think I just saw the Coyotes one pop up. So let's take a quick peek at that. It does look like they're going with a tan base. Interesting. It's kind of like that sandy or maybe burnt orange type of color. So yeah, that's really interesting. Really hard to get anything out of that, honestly. But if we think about their, because I'd been hearing a lot that maybe they'll go back to their last reverse retro. If we think of this as maybe that, sandy color along the bottom is actually the top, that could be interesting. So, and then I don't know what they do for the mountains. Maybe do those in purple as well, just a darker area around the bottom. It's kind of hard to tell, but maybe that is what they're doing. Let's look at the Islanders. It looks like the Islanders are next to my feet. I'm going to make sure I like the, I can go back and reference these later. We're not going to get any hint of the fisherman there, but I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed. Let's go ahead and full screen this. Really doesn't seem to be much to that one. Really hard to tell. Yeah. That one's got me a little stumped. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure the fisherman's coming in, but they really don't give us any detail around the middle of the jersey there. So we'll move on to Washington, who we've already kind of seen. But yeah, you can kind of tell it's black. You can kind of see some of the angled sleeve stripes, I think. Yeah, I think you can kind of see that there. Which, again, is in line with, if we come back over here, it is in line with the angled stripes you see on the sleeves there. So it looks like we're really just getting some sleeve teasers with these, not even necessarily years associated with them. Next one is the Avalanche, who we believe is going to be bringing back the Rockies. Not a lot of detail in this. It's really hard to tell. Not a lot there. I'm not sure what the point is of some of these teasers. They show so little that it's almost like, what are you meant to take away from it? Maybe there's something I'm missing. I'm going to keep an eye on your comments in case you guys have something to add. But yeah, it looks like it's tough to tell. The other thing too, I'm noticing on all of these, there's a hood involved, and that's not too far from I think what we saw with the last round. If I scroll through some of these, some of them they have the model wearing a hoodie underneath the jersey. Not that we're necessarily looking at a hoodie in these videos, but let's see here. Let's look at Columbus next. Again, there may not be much to these teasers, honestly. We may have to wait till tomorrow to really see anything and talk about anything, but there doesn't seem to be a ton there. But like I said, you know, we have seen a leak of the Blue Jackets one, for example, so I'm pretty sure we know the direction they're headed. This one's kind of interesting. The Blues, let's see if we do see yellow. If we can make out any yellow with them. Yeah, you know, I think that we can. Yes, you can definitely see the sleeve striping there. That matches what we saw in that unused design, and then of course in the what's the word I'm looking for? The hat. In the beanie here. So here we go. Yeah. So you kind of see these thin stripes, the double striping around the sleeves, and you can definitely tell that one was yellow. So I think we're pretty much on target with that one. So that's nice to see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the Blues in yellow for sure. Here we go. We got the Kings in purple. Let's full screen this one. I feel like you can maybe make out a little something in the in the shoulders there. I'm not sure, but you can see there the classic numbers. Maybe that's a sleeve stripe, so maybe we are seeing what's been kind of rumored. So if we jump back over here, I can pull up the LA Kings, and I think we're going to be looking for something from the 1980s, but maybe in white. And I don't know, I would guess purple sleeves based on this as opposed to yellow ones, because we saw the yellow on the Blues image really stood out. So maybe we're getting a white jersey with purple sleeves, and maybe it's the yellow and the white that are going to be swapped out for the Kings. So interesting there. All right, let's take a look at the Carolina Hurricanes. Can we make out anything on this one? It definitely appears to be red, from what I can tell. Hard to say if it's going to be a Whalers jersey as well. Everything, of course, on the front of the jersey is hidden from us pretty well. Looks like some black sleeve stripes, possibly. If we jump in here to the Hurricanes, let's see if anything kind of stands out. The striping doesn't immediately hit me as something that the Hurricanes would have worn, or I'm sorry, the Whalers would have worn. Head over here though. Yeah, I can't see the sleeves being anything that matches what we saw there. I could potentially see this third jersey, the Hurricanes' original third jersey, maybe in red with some unique striping on the sleeves. We'll see. I don't know. That's an interesting one as well. Any theories on that? Looking at comments real quick in the live chat. So let's keep scrolling through. Here's the lightning. This will be interesting if we can make out any of the lightning bolts down the sleeves. I think we kind of can. I think you can kind of see something there. Maybe it's just, you know, me seeing what I want to see. But I feel like you can see the lightning bolts on the sleeves here and the shoulder yoke coming pretty far down to the elbow almost. Now, again, if you haven't heard the rumors on this one, I have it on pretty good authority that the Lightning are going with their original third jersey from 1997, which looks like this. We've got the little wave pattern, the raindrops, the sleeves with the lightning bolts coming down. I don't know. I kind of see that happening here. It's really tough. It's really tough. I'm going to go back through these later after I get off the live stream. I'm going to grab all these videos and pull whatever frames I can and do another grid, kind of like I did for this morning's, just to see if there's anything more that we can make out from them. It's really fun to kind of look at these and speculate and try to guess what teams are doing. Here's a look at Pittsburgh. Yeah, look at that. I think you can pretty much tell what that one is. That is a black version of their 92 white jersey. You can kind of see the angled stripes and the yellow sleeves, the yellow angles on the shoulders. I'm pretty sure we're looking at that 92 design. So let me come back here. I'm pretty sure we're looking at this in black with the yellow. So I think it's just the black and the white that are getting swapped out in this for the Penguins. Let's jump down here to look at the Golden Knights. We've seen theirs already, so there might not be much. Yeah, the striping is confirmed. The weird numbers are confirmed. So yeah, I think that one we don't need to spend a lot of time on. That one we've kind of seen, and we can see there that the video kind of matches up with what we've already seen. Here we go with the Devils. So the Kansas City Scouts should be what they're based on, and it does look like a red jersey, possibly, or white. Maybe it's white with kind of red lighting. I think it is white. I think the lighting on the model is red. So we're seeing, because I do believe they were going to be going with a white jersey as well. Hard to make out any details, but for those of you who are not familiar with the Kansas City Scouts, let's jump over here quick and look at their original uniforms. Again, thanks to Andrew Greenstein for making this website. It's a lifesaver. Great for any hockey jersey research that you may want to do. So it's hard to tell from the striping, but it is entirely possible that we're getting some of that thin striping around the larger stripes. Let me jump over here. It'll be interesting too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're using Scouts colors based on the T-shirt leak. It seems like they are. They are going to be using red and blue for the Devils, but we'll see how that goes. I know there were a lot of people who were not in love with the idea of Rangers colors on a Devils jersey, so we'll see how that comes together. Let's take a peek at the Philadelphia Flyers. They're next in my feed. Man, that's a tough one. It looks like it might be black. And I see some orange number. You know what it could be? I'm sorry, orange sleeves. I was just thinking it kind of could look a little bit like maybe their 90s or 80s era jerseys, but in black. They did wear a black version as their third jersey for a while. It looks like 97 is when that started. But I could see them maybe taking one of these designs here and maybe swapping the colors on that, going with the black base, and maybe the orange is down here, and maybe it is white along there. Or maybe it's a white jersey base and there's black sleeves. Kind of tough to tell on that one, for sure. Yeah, I think that one I may need to see a bit more before I can make a good judgment. Let's jump down to Winnipeg Jets and see what they have to offer. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Based on the stripes and the coloring and the logo we saw in the T-shirt leak, I'm fairly confident we're going to see a jersey based on their 90s design. And, you know, this is, I guess, technically part of the Arizona Coyotes team history, because this is the team that ended up moving to Phoenix in 96. But I think this is the jersey we're looking at. You can kind of see those sleeve stripes happening there. I'm curious about the color. It looks like a white jersey to me. I would say it's a white jersey with kind of aviator blue in the middle there, and then the navy blue around the edges. So, you know, I think we're looking at maybe kind of this jersey in today's colors, today's Jets colors. So I think that'll be a fun one to see come back. We already know they're bringing back that classic logo, so that'll be fun to see. We'll like that one and move along. Let's see what Toronto has in store. I really don't know much about what their plan is. So it looks like possibly a blue jersey. It's got white cuffs. You know, that makes me think of, let me jump into their history here. Andrew, always saving the day with NHLUniforms.com. Got to plug it as much as I can. So I don't think it doesn't appear like they're going with any of their 70s designs where they had the stripe down the sleeve. It does look like they might be going in another direction. I would say maybe something like these from the 90s, based on that cuff. Hard to say about, I guess there is a bit of striping in here. So maybe that is the idea. Maybe it is just as simple as one of these 90s jerseys. The only problem for me is like these are both reverses of each other, you know. So if you reverse one, you just basically get the other one. So to have it be reverse retro and have it be, you know, anything meaningfully kind of different, we'll see. Again, I don't want to pass too much judgment on these very dimly lit teaser images that we're seeing here. So let's take a look at Anaheim and see what we're getting here. Yeah, interesting. So I can kind of see, it looks like there's angled striping happening there. So for Anaheim, if they basically took their original uniforms from 93 and inserted their current colors, I could totally see that being the case. Yeah, I can kind of see that, taking the eggplant and jade and kind of just replacing it with the orange and kind of bronze or gold of today. And I don't know if it's an orange jersey or just orange lighting that's making the jersey look kind of orange. But had understood that it was a white jersey, so I'm kind of leaning in that direction, that maybe we're seeing a white jersey. But then again, you look at that sleeve stripe, that looks kind of white to me. But I guess that kind of matches there. So you're seeing orange at the base of the sleeves, which is basically where this jade color is. So it'll be interesting to see, too, if they keep the diagonal stripe across the front. Kind of hard to tell again. They've darkened everything in the middle of the, of the image. So it looks like we're getting that Mighty Ducks throwback in modern colors. So let's look at the Buffalo Sabers. Hope someone's keeping track of how many teams we've been through. Hope I get to them all. Now this is interesting because, you know, everything that I'd heard and been told is that we're going to see the 90s design and current colors, blue and gold. Maybe there's a bit of an angle happening there. Hard to tell. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to jump back into this for a second. Let's go over here and look at the Sabers in the 90s. It's hard to say that, you know, I guess these aren't really that deeply angled. They're kind of straight when you're just looking at the sleeves. So it is entirely possible we're seeing a white jersey, yellow and blue, maybe silver as well, right? And so that's maybe what we're seeing here, yellow to replace the silver, maybe some blue and silver up here to replace the red and black. So we'll see how that all comes together, but I think that'll be a cool look. You know, for their last reverse retro, they ended up doing another design from that era, but it was the red jersey that they put in white, but used all their modern colors, blue, yellow, and silver. So that's cool. Not too bad. Oh, here we go, Montreal. Let's see what we have with them. Okay, it looks like familiar striping on the sleeves. And, you know, the light blue, the kind of powder blue that we're seeing, you know, that goes with, you know, what we were seeing in the leak, the T-shirt leak. So I think we are seeing a light blue. I'm wondering if there is any red in it, or if maybe their idea was to simply take, let me jump back over here. We'll look at Montreal. Maybe their idea was to take, which, you know, their throwback jersey, which would effectively be their current jersey. Montreal is one of those teams that, you know, they don't really change anything from year to year. See if we can get this page to load. So I would say, you know, it's probably like the red jersey that they're wearing. Maybe we see the red swapped out with the powder blue. I don't see them changing the CH. I think the C will remain red. But maybe we'll see some minor red striping in small places. But it does seem like that powder blue has overtaken things, and it does look like their regular dark blue is visible on the sleeve stripe. So again, it's still hard to say for sure, but that I think is the case with all of these. So let's take a look at Vancouver, see if it matches the leak that we already have. And it certainly does seem to, yeah. Yeah, and I can jump in there and show you real quick once again. Let's see, we'll jump over here. The striping definitely seemed to match what we saw in that teaser there. So I think it's safe to say this wasn't made up. I think this is the actual jersey. So very cool to see that. We get another one from Montreal, but this time in French. So I can't read it, but should be the same image, and it is. We'll keep on scrolling and see what we find. What team is this? Oh, Senators, but also in French. So theirs definitely looks red. Oh, interesting take on the numbers. Okay, the numbers may be the giveaway for this one. Because these numbers were used very specifically on a third jersey they introduced in the late 90s, which then became their primary jersey, right, this here. So maybe this is what we're going to see from Ottawa. That would be interesting. Although that jersey looked red to me, again, it could be a lighting thing. It could be that the jersey's actually white and we're getting red light on it. A little difficult to tell for me, but it could also be a red jersey, and maybe they've done something like maybe they swapped the black and the white on it, but they still wanted to keep a red design. You know, the Senators, of course, are wearing black and white as their primary uniform, so maybe they wanted another red look. So I could see maybe if the red or the white and black were swapped here to give us kind of a different look. But yeah, definitely those numbers are distinctive when it comes to that era of Ottawa Senators jerseys. So, all right, let's take a look at Dallas, which is another one we just talked about earlier that hasn't quite leaked, but we've kind of got a sense of what they're doing. This doesn't give away much, although this model is not wearing a hoodie, so we get a little more around the collar that we can see. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen. Take another quick peek. The numbers do match with what I posted last night. So, but as far as any striping, there's none. Which I don't know. Kind of makes me think it is that that sleeve thing happening that we see with this white jersey from the '90s. So it may be something like that for sure, which is kind of what I've been told. So, but it would be nice too if this is green. Kind of, I don't know. It's so hard to tell the way that the colors are in these videos. It may be green, it may not, but I'm leaning towards hoping that it is. We did look at the Panthers, so we're now getting back into tweets we've already seen. Let me go back to the top here and see if anything new has popped in. Looks like the Rangers are getting ready for their game. Penguins. Here we go. Seattle. This is my team, my hometown team. You see the jerseys hanging up all over the walls behind me. Okay, interesting sleeve striping here. Oh, wow, and you can see the different numbers. So this really does kind of fall in line with what I've been told about the Iron Men. So let me jump in here. You're going to get a little sneak peek at all of the how I organize all my files. Let's see. Past teams, I think, is where I had it. I don't remember. Gosh, so much of this stuff is around. I've scattered around everywhere. It's easier to find when I'm not trying to do a live presentation. So I'll pull that up later. But I do know that the Seattle Ironmen had a design similar to this on their sleeves. They had a longer shoulder yoke that comes farther down, which I think is what we're seeing here. I have a sense this is probably going to be in Kraken colors, so it'll be that deep sea blue base is what I'm going to guess. And it looks like these stripes, as opposed to being white, I think are going to be the ice blue, that really light blue that you see there in the middle of the S. So, but I'm going to the game tonight, so I'll keep an eye out if they have any other teasers around the arena as far as reverse retro goes. But it's too bad that I don't think the jerseys are going to be on sale right away. I think they're going to be available a little later on. Let's see, the New York Rangers. Will we get anything interesting out of this one? Yeah, you know, kind of. There's something kind of interesting there. It looks like a kind of different patch of color there on the sleeve, which is unique compared to the base. So I'm guessing maybe it's a white version of the Lady Liberty jersey, which we did see a white version of that back in the 90s. Let me jump back over here. Need some water. So yeah, for 98, 99, we saw a white version. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, they used royal blue on the t-shirt leak. So I wonder if maybe it's a white version of that jersey, but with maybe royal blue instead of navy blue. So that's just pure speculation on my part. So we'll see. But it also looks like here, so here on the stripes they had red, silver, red. But on this one, it kind of looks like silver, red, silver, if you ask me. I may be really nitpicking at this point, but maybe that's where some of the reverse is as well. But interesting. Definitely think Lady Liberty's coming back. Let's take a look at Minnesota. We think the North Stars colors are coming back. It definitely seems to be the case. A lot of green. Hard to tell if there's any yellow. Hard to tell what's going on with the sleeves for sure there. But you know what? It does look like maybe it's just a you know, not far off from what they did in 2020, I think. You know, all the hints were that basically they were going to be going with a green version of this jersey. So I think what you probably could take away from that is that this is a green jersey, and then you're seeing the mix of yellow and white stripes down there on the sleeve. So whether they change to a North Stars logo, I would be surprised. I would still expect to see the classic wild crest in North Stars colors on the front of this one. So let's keep going through. Like I said, I really hope someone's keeping track for me as far as what teams we've seen and which ones we haven't. Yeah, I mean, that looks yellow to me. That kind of confirms what we saw in the leak this morning. You can definitely tell the stripes on the sleeves. So unfortunately, not a huge surprise there. Kind of a bummer that one leaked. But let me switch over here. This is what I think we're seeing in that image. Is this shot of the Predators. So, not bad, but no need for a teaser anymore because I think we've now seen that one. So really cool look for the Predators. Let's see the Flames. What are they up to? I think we're getting the black pedestal jersey is what I've been told, but this doesn't look that black to me. In fact, it kind of looks red. Maybe white. But the stripes on the sleeves, gosh, I don't know. They look kind of angled. Let's take a look over here at NHL Uniforms and jump into the Flames page. And this seems to be what the jerseys were going to be based on. Yeah, okay, of course, they do have the angled stripe on the sleeve, so that does make sense. And actually, now that I think about it, it would make sense if the sleeve was white, if the jersey's black. So I think we're going to get probably a reversed version of this one, a black jersey with the white sleeves and some of the red striping in there. So I think red may be kept to a minimum, but I think the sleeves certainly appear to be white. But yeah, that's going to be a cool look for. And you know what? I think you can maybe just make out some striping up here. I don't know. Again, that may be just seeing what I want to see. But yeah, it does look like there's confirmation of that rumor that the Flames will be going in this direction. So that'll be cool to see. That's great. All right, let's look at Edmonton. And we already have seen theirs, of course. But let's take a look at the video anyway. Yeah, you can definitely see it's dark blue. You've got the orange and white stripes, the numbers embedded inside the sleeve stripes instead of above, which is kind of interesting. I think that's what we saw in the leaked image, though, so that isn't too surprising. Yeah, you can kind of see the number inside the white stripe there on the sleeve. And I think it hangs down lower on the model just because, you know, the way these jerseys are built, they're made for, you know, big pads to go over the shoulders and everything, which would raise everything up a bit. But obviously for, you know, if you just have it on a model, just a regular person wearing it without a bunch of gear underneath, you're going to see those things seem to hang down a bit lower, those stripes. But yeah, again, nothing crazy there. Boston, this should be interesting. Will we get to make out the bear in any way? Oh, look at those sleeve stripes. Do you see that? Oh, my goodness. I feel like you kind of did. Yeah, I think that's a bit of the bear there. Do you see the ear? Or is that just me? Very cool. But yeah, you can definitely make out some of the detail of the striping there. And that totally matches, and it does look like a white jersey to me, but that totally matches what we saw. Jump back over here. In 96 when they launched this one. So it's got that interesting kind of broken stripe all around the sleeves and around the base. And so I think the yellow is being swapped with white for this one. So excited about Boston. I think that'll be a cool one for sure. Again, for 90s kids, you know, we're going to love that stuff. Oh, we have an NHL Adidas one. This is another 22nd one. What are we seeing here? Oh, we're seeing all the teams kind of flash through in black and white. So very, very cryptic on that one. We're not really going to get anything out of that, I don't think. But I'll grab that one later and take a closer look. Okay, here we go. The Sharks with the potential for golden seals. Yeah. Oh, it does. Yeah, man, I think you can really see it on that one. Let's pause there. And I think you can see just some stripes coming just underneath the shoulder. And then if we come back over here, pull up the California Golden Seals, and I think it seems to be based on their most recent jersey from their final seasons, 74 through 76. And yeah, you see this little stripe effect that goes just above their shoulders there. I think that's what we're seeing here in this image, right? So, and then I guess the stripe around the base of the sleeves, around the wrist, yeah, it matches that. So that kind of confirms, you know, what we've been hearing. Of course, the T-shirt leak also did show the Sharks word mark in the style of the Seals word mark. So yeah, interesting for sure. San Jose's is one I'm looking forward to seeing. Detroit, oh my gosh, let's see. Is Detroit going to be any better than they were last time? Last time was kind of a wreck. There's a lot of striping happening on there. Oh my goodness, you know, I think you kind of get a quick peek at the front. Or maybe it's my imagination, again, just seeing what I want to see and all the little stuff that's flashing across. You know, one thing I'm curious too, are these shapes popping up, are they different on every team, or are they the same on every jersey? So if they're different, they may be pointing to specific features of the jersey. So We'll see, but yeah, you can definitely see some striping there. The numbers are in some kind of stripes, but it seems like a white jersey. I'm going to jump over here and see if maybe we're talking about super early throwback. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this, possibly, from the Detroit Cougars era back in the 20s. Almost 100-year-old jersey. But, man, looking at those stripes, it really does look like that's what we're looking at for the Red Wings, which is going to be a huge win compared to what they did last time around, where it was really, you know, not much. They added some gray stripes instead of red. But, yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. This one seems like it might be a really cool one. So, and then we're back to Arizona, who we've already seen. Guys, are there any that I've missed? Are there any that I haven't shown yet that you guys have seen out there? I haven't been keeping track, and I'd love to. Let's see. There's a sign up to be the first to know. This is a Rangers thing to sign up about the official jersey release, which I do think is happening tomorrow. So you're signing up basically to get an email tomorrow, as far as I know. Let's see what is the thread. Is there something more? Okay. All right. Let's see. So yeah, we've seen Seattle and everybody else. So are there any others? Let's see. I'm checking the chat here. Chicago's. No, you're right. We haven't seen Chicago. Let me jump in and look at the Blackhawks account. The Ducks we did see, and it does appear to be white, like a white version of their original jersey, with orange and black instead of the jade and eggplant colors. We did see Boston. It's going to be that 95, 96 third jersey throwback, but in white. Colorado, we did see one for them, I believe. Or did we? Gosh, now I'm not sure. Let me jump in here, do a quick search, and we'll look and see if we can find the Blackhawks, if they had specifically had one here. It doesn't look like they've shared anything yet. Oh, no, this is from this morning. This is their original thing. So we're going to hold on to that. The Blackhawks may be a holdout here. We're half an hour in. I'm an hour into this stream, and I feel like I should be wrapping it up pretty soon. But I think we've seen just about every team. I'm looking at your chats to see what else. Carolina we did see, but really didn't get much out of it. It looks like it's going to be red. Pittsburgh we did see. It looks like a black version of their 92 white jersey. Let's see, what else? Okay, I see one of you, Jasper, you mentioned that the Sens one had laurels flashing, so the shapes seem to mean something. I'm going to take a closer look at that as I go back through and take a closer look at each of these videos. Like I said, don't expect any kind of video from me, like in terms of a flash report or anything on these. I may do some stuff on Twitter if I pull some images together and find stuff that makes sense. I'm not going to have time. Even if I did have time, I'm going to the Kraken game tonight, by the way, so I'm not going to have time to edit a video tonight. But even if I did, the reveal is, I think, supposed to be tomorrow morning, and so there's barely a point to making any sort of speculation type of video, apart from being live, like I am right now. So I think that is about it. Were there any others that we missed? I feel like I want to jump in and take another look at the Avalanche, but I can't remember if we saw them or not. Let me do a quick refresh of this list. Because we saw New Jersey, and I kind of associate those two because they're taking inspiration from teams that are part of the same lineage, the Colorado Rockies and Kansas City Scouts, which part of the same franchise that ended up in New Jersey. Yeah, we may not have the Avalanche here. Let's take another peek. No, we did see theirs. Okay, I'd forgotten. Yeah, I'm going to take another look, like I said, at those weird outlines that are happening on the jersey and see if that ties in some way to the layout or the design of the jersey. So, all right, that's been fun. You guys, I'm going to take a quick look at the chat here and see if you have any other questions for me. If you've written anything already and it's farther up, I'm not going to be able to scroll right now. So if there's something new you want to ask, drop it in there now. I know there's a bit of a lag or delay on things. But while you're getting your questions in, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get some water, and I'll be right back in just about 30 seconds. So stand by. All right, I am back. Just here to wrap it up here on Aesthetics Live. We just took a look at all of the reverse retro teasers that have been released. I think we've seen them all. If not, be sure to check back. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Check back on Twitter. I'll post more stuff there. I'm going to go through and try to find any extra details we can pull out from these, but I think most of there weren't too many surprises from what I can recall as we went through. There were a lot of the stuff that was either rumored or reported has kind of turned out to be fairly accurate. From what we can tell, again, these teasers are not very descriptive. We don't get to see a lot in them. So, all right, let's see here. Any questions? Let's jump in. If you missed one of the teams that I showed, just go look up their Twitter account and you'll find their video. You'll also be able to watch this video again in full if you want to go back to the beginning once I finish. You can take a peek, see what I talked about there. The first half hour was really focused on the leaks that have come out. So there were some new leaks today, and of course there have been over the past couple of weeks. Let's see, Reagan asks, will the Canucks have the numbers on the front? You know, we couldn't really tell much about the front of the jerseys in those teasers, so I'm not sure about that, but that would align with the 1962 Canucks, on which those jerseys seem to be based. Dylan asks, how many goals will the Blues win by tonight? I'm guessing 5 or 6 based on the way the Kraken have been playing lately, so good luck to the Blues if you're a Blues fan. I'm going to be sitting there hoping for the best, but it's been a rough homestand since they got started their season. Let's see, what else? And I am going to the game tonight, for those of you curious. Let's see. Nate. Hey, Nate's a member of the Talkback crew, Nate Thomas. Panthers tees has a sun stick logo on the shoulder. Yes, it did. I did notice that was like the first one we saw, so I was still trying to get my wits about me. But yeah, there was a kind of a light blue base, maybe some red shoulders, and yeah, you did see the sun and stick logo, and that was what we saw on their T-shirt in the NHL shop leak. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there. It does make me wonder what the chest is going to be, what kind of logo they'll have for their crest. Let's see. Curtis says a few teams have posted new/different teasers on their Instagram story. Interesting. I have been only looking at Twitter because that's kind of where I spend most of my time, but I'll jump in and take a look at Instagram and some other places and see if there are additional teasers there that are worthwhile. Let's see here. Anybody else? Did Adidas or the NHL pull out of the deal, and depending on who, why did they? Don't know any of the details. I really don't. I think Adidas is a big company with a lot of other sports that they do, and I feel like, they probably just wanted to focus more on that. It's hard to imagine that they really couldn't put everything into hockey, maybe as much as they would have wanted, or much as the NHL would have wanted. So, again, I don't know. That's kind of speculation, but however it came to be, it seems like that relationship is ending, so we'll have a new jersey maker coming in 2024. All right, I'm not seeing much else here. Someone asking, of course, who will take over the NHL contract, and is CCM a frontrunner based on their AHL deal? I would not say anything is based on their AHL deal. The NHL is going to go their own way for sure. I think we rarely see anything kind of taken from the minors in that sense, but I suppose CCM is a possibility, but I just don't know. I really don't know who's in the mix. I'd love to see personally someone other than Nike. I'd love to see a company that maybe is smaller and wants to just focus on hockey, so maybe CCM would be good there, but just somebody who just focuses on hockey would be great. Donnell Weaver asks, since you have the Kraken away jersey, do you have the home jersey? Yes. My wife and I go to the games, and we both wear jerseys, so we do have two. I have the white one hanging up here behind me, and then I have the dark blue one as well. And that one's ready for game night. So, all right, guys, thank you again so much for taking part, for watching this Aesthetics live stream as we went through all of the Reverse Retro 2.0 teasers. Like I said, keep an eye on Twitter. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to do another live stream tomorrow. I mean, I think I will at some point. Whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, I don't know. We'll see. If all of the jerseys sort of get released first thing in the morning, I may try to jump in and do a live stream that way. If it happens later in the afternoon, or if it's maybe staggered throughout the day, I may do a live stream later in the afternoon. We'll see. But I think we should get them all tomorrow. So the wait will not be long, but you have tonight to speculate. So enjoy, and really thank you again. I do appreciate you guys being here. It's been great. And it's fun to see all these new jerseys coming. Definitely a busy time for me as I try to keep all this straight. But I'm going to go now dig into all of the details of all those videos and see what we can find. And if there are other platforms where there were other teasers, I'll try to find those and track them down too and share them on my Twitter account. So make sure you follow @Icethetics on Twitter if you haven't already. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you just found it. And until then, until next time, I should say, until tomorrow, have a good night. See you guys.